Hey everyone, welcome back to Brew and Boost, your daily shot of news and English. I'm Emily.
And I'm Jake. Today's story is about why your international packages might not show up on time.
But first, a quiz for you, Jake, and for our listeners too. Which country sends the most packages to the US every year? Is it A, China, B, Germany, or C, Canada?
Oh, that's tricky. I have a hunch, but I'll keep it secret until the end.
Perfect. We'll reveal the answer later. For now, let's listen in as Maya and Alex talk about what's happening with global shipping. Can you believe some countries decided to pull the plug on deliveries to the US?
Yeah, they're basically pumping the brakes until they figure out the new tariff rules.
I used to love ordering little gadgets that came duty-free, but now that's ending.
Exactly, and it means every package could face a serious price hike.
So even a cheap t-shirt from abroad might cost way more next week.
Right? And the postal services are saying the policies are ambiguous, which makes it worse.
Honestly, this shows how quickly government decisions can ripple into daily life.
Totally. And shoppers like us end up waiting longer and paying more.
Let's break down that conversation between Maya and Alex, sentence by sentence.
Maya started off by saying, "Can you believe some countries decided to pull the plug on deliveries to the US?"
That phrase, pull the plug, is really vivid. Literally, it's like unplugging a machine so it stops working. But figuratively, it means stopping something suddenly or completely.
Exactly. Here, countries pulled the plug on deliveries, meaning they suddenly stopped them. You can also hear this in business English, like, the company pulled the plug on the project after costs got too high.
Then Alex replied, yeah, they're basically pumping the brakes until they figure out the new tariff rules.
The phrase pumping the brakes comes from driving a car. It means slowing down or pausing before moving forward.
And he mentions tariff rules. A tariff is a government tax on imported goods. And tariff rules are the policies that decide how much extra cost gets added. So countries are slowing shipments until they understand those rules.
Next, Maya said, "I used to love ordering little gadgets that came duty-free, but now that's ending."
Duty-free is such a common travel word. At airports, you see duty-free shops where products are sold without import tax. For the US, there was a special policy called the de minimis exemption, which allowed packages under $800 to arrive duty-free. That's the rule that's ending.
Which means even tiny purchases, like a keychain from abroad, might be taxed.
Then Alex explained, exactly, and it means every package could face a serious price hike.
A price hike is an increase in cost. The word hike usually means a long walk, but in this context, it means something going up sharply.
And it's almost always negative. People complain about a rent hike or a gasoline price hike. Here, shoppers are upset because even ordinary packages could get more expensive.
Maya gave a concrete example. So even a cheap t-shirt from abroad might cost way more next week.
The phrase from abroad just means from another country. And the key idea is that tariffs apply to everyday items, not just luxury goods.
That's what makes it relatable. Everyone can imagine buying a simple t-shirt online and suddenly paying much more.
Then Alex added, right, and the postal services are saying the policies are ambiguous, which makes it worse.
The word ambiguous means unclear or confusing. Postal services are frustrated because the new US rules aren't explained clearly.
Exactly. When you describe a policy as ambiguous in English, you're criticizing it for leaving too much room for confusion or interpretation.
Maya reflected on it by saying, honestly, this shows how quickly government decisions can ripple into daily life.
I love the phrase ripple into daily life. It's like throwing a stone into water, the ripples spread out. In English, it means one decision creates wide effects.
Right. One tariff decision ripples outward, delays, higher costs, and frustrated shoppers.
Finally, Alex summed it up. Totally, and shoppers like us end up waiting longer and paying more.
The phrase end up is very common. It means the final result after everything happens. For example, I missed the bus and ended up walking home.
So here the result is simple. Shoppers wait longer for deliveries and pay more at checkout. That's the bottom line. And now that we've unpacked all those expressions, Let's give your ears another chance to catch them in action.
Yeah, we're going to roll the dialogue again. As you listen this time, focus on hearing those key phrases like pull the plug, pump the brakes, duty-free, tariff rules, and price hike, and see how naturally they fit into the conversation.
Okay, here it comes one more time. Can you believe some countries decided to pull the plug on deliveries to the US?
Yeah, they're basically pumping the brakes until they figure out the new tariff rules.
I used to love ordering little gadgets that came duty free, but now that's ending.
Exactly, and it means every package could face a serious price hike.
So even a cheap t shirt from abroad might cost way more next week.
Right? And the postal services are saying the policies are ambiguous, which makes it worse.
Honestly, this shows how quickly government decisions can ripple into daily life.
Totally. And shoppers like us end up waiting longer and paying more.
Expression Spotlight. All right, it's time for our Expression Spotlight, where we take the 5 key phrases from today's dialogue and make them come alive. First up, pull the plug. It literally comes from unplugging a machine, but in everyday English, it means stopping something suddenly or completely.
Let's act it out. One friend asks, so are we still going ahead with the pop-up store?
And the other sighs, nah, the landlord doubled the rent, so we had to pull the plug.
You can hear the disappointment, but also the sense of finality. And another example, the government pulled the plug on the project after safety concerns. Next is pump the brakes. From driving, it means to slow down or pause before moving forward.
Here's the scene. One coworker says, "We're good to launch this Friday."
And the manager cuts in, hold on, let's pump the brakes. We still haven't finished the security checks.
It's not as final as pulling the plug. You can continue later. Another example is, investors pumped the brakes on the deal once they saw the company's debt. Third, duty-free. A duty is an import tax, so duty-free means no tax on that product. You see it in airports and international shipping.
Imagine this. One friend brags, check out this perfume. I got it duty-free on my layover.
And the other laughs, wow, no wonder you smelled so expensive on the plane.
Duty-free has that fun bargain vibe. Another example is, she always saves her shopping list for the duty-free store when she travels abroad. Now let's look at tariff rules. A tariff is a government tax on imports, and tariff rules are the policies that decide when and how much gets charged.
Picture this. A customer complains, why did my jacket suddenly cost more?
And the rep explains, the tariff rules changed last week for clothing from that country.
That's clear and practical. And on a bigger scale, farmers are worried that new tariff rules will make exporting their crops more expensive. Finally, price hike. Here, hike doesn't mean a long walk. It means a sudden, often painful increase.
Think of 2 roommates. One groans, ugh, our internet bill went up again.
And the other answers, yeah, the company announced another price hike last month.
You can feel the frustration. And here's another. There's been a steep price hike in concert tickets since last year.
So to sum up, pull the plug is a decisive stop, pump the brakes is a cautious pause, duty-free means no import tax, tariff rules are the government's trade policies, and a price hike is a sharp increase in cost.
And when you practice these phrases in little exchanges like the ones we just acted out, they start to feel natural, not like memorized vocabulary, but like language you can use anytime.
And that brings us to the end of today's episode. But before we wrap up, let's go back to our quiz. I asked earlier, which country sends the most packages to the US every year? Is it A, China, B, Germany, or C, Canada?
I've been holding on to my guess. I'm going with A, China.
And you're absolutely right. China is the #1 sender of packages to the US, especially thanks to e-commerce giants like Shein and Temu.
That really ties back to our story. When tariff rules change, it can affect millions of those deliveries almost overnight.
Exactly. So next time you're tracking a package and wondering why it's delayed or more expensive, you'll know the English to talk about it.
Thanks for hanging out with us on Brew and Boost.
We'll be back tomorrow with another story and more expressions to add to your English toolkit.
Until then, keep practicing and keep boosting your English.